Hi guys. All right, so I just had a visit with my doctor through my phone, which my phone is an idiot. Smartphone my ass. It's not smart. It's annoying. Really annoying. Okay. It doesn't cooperate. My phone doesn't cooperate. It does better with Zoom, but I don't know if they do doctor visits through Zoom. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my phone. Anyway, so as long as has eyeball to eyeball with me, he's able to call me on the phone after that in case technology is not working. So anyway, he said that there's a possibility, and of course it's like 50-50, it could go either way, but he said that there's a possibility that the CAT scan could be just contrast from the dye. I mean, it could be, I mean, the contrast is the dye. It just could be contrast that's showing on the CT. It might not be anything, but they're just do the um cholecystectomy, whatever the frick is cystus, whatever the frickin' scopy. I can't say that word. I can't. I just can't. So I give up. Anyway. So yeah. That procedure is going to be February 1st. And so we'll take it from there. And hopefully it's nothing and we're good to go. I hope. I'd rather bypass the procedure, but that's not an option. Okay. Um, Cystoscopy. That's the word. Cystoscopy. Say that 5 times real fast. It was kind of hilarious because he took a while to get on the phone for us to have our meeting. It's a telemed meeting, right? And so I'm sitting here playing with my nail strips and I'm in a zone. I'm deep in a zone because I figure it's going to be a while. And so I'm looking at the colors and I see this color right here, which is gorgeous. And so I'm deep in a zone. This is so pretty. It's called Chance. It's like a pinkish red. These are the nail wraps. And you got glitter ones too, which is like super freaking cool. So I'm deep in a girl zone. So I'm looking at the colors and I'm like, ooh. So then he pops on and I jumped off my skeleton. I was like, ooh. Because I was deep in a zone, I say. Oh my God. So anyway, I'm hilarious. I love him. He's amazing. He's young, he's hip. Like I said before, if I talk trash to him, he talks trash right back to me. He's funny. When he first wanted me to do colonoscopy, I said, have you done it? He said, yes, I have. Yes, I have. In other words, now what you got? I love him. He's great. So anyway, I want to talk to you ladies who are obsessed with the idea of, I got to get married. Biological clock is ticking. Got to have kids, got to have kids, got to have kids. All right. Coming from a person, well, first of all, if you look around you, let's not even go there yet. Hold on. Okay. If you look around you, you will see at your job, in your family, some people who might even be friends who you're no longer friends with because their behavior is just really weird and unpredictable. A lot of these people are narcissists. The reason why a lot of men are narcissistic, there's a multitude of reasons. They become that way as boys as a result of abusive parents. I talked about this before. Abusive parents, neglectful parents, or overindulgent parents who give their kids any and everything. They don't have rules. They don't have regulations. They just do whatever the freaking hell they want to do because they've got a pecker. So based on that alone, they can do whatever the hell they want to do when they want to do it. Right? The only thing that happens as a result of that is they become angry narcissists. They become depressed, they become angry, and their mood swings are all over the place. They get mad for trivial reasons. They're just horrible to deal with. And since so many boys have been spoiled, rotten, or abused, and women too, but I haven't dated women. Um, so many boys get their butts kissed or abused, and a lot of them are narcissists. Many men are narcissists. There's only a small percentage that aren't. Okay, so now that you know that, that should help you slow your roll on, I got to get married, have kids, got to get married, kids, marriage, marriage, marriage. Oh my God. Let me explain something to you. Being married to the wrong person is a fantasy. It is a nightmare disguised as a fantasy. It's a nightmare disguised as a fantasy. So if you look at commercialism, everywhere you turn, wedding dresses here, David's Bridal having sales once a year, and marriage is a beautiful thing, and a diamond is a girl's best friend, and da 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 da, and it just goes, the bullshit and the commercialism goes on and on and on. And all that is commercial brainwash. Because if there was as much emphasis on choosing the right partner as there is on the ring and the wedding gown, if there's more emphasis on choosing the right person, we could avoid having such a high divorce rate. Because people are going to get tired of dealing with someone who's moody, bitchy all the time. They don't genuinely love their partner. They don't genuinely love themselves. So they cannot love you. And I'm coming from a place of, I think I was married on paper for about 25 years to a god dang malignant narcissist who was a nightmare from hell, moody as hell, screaming and yelling at me over shit I have absolutely no control over. Okay? Screaming and yelling at me about bills. Thank you for giving me all the credit for creating bills, but I can't take that credit because I didn't create bills. But he acted like I did. We just paid that bill. Yeah, last month. So screaming and yelling at him and everything, because that money was going towards his side pieces, and he has to cut them short to give the wife money for bills. He's got to cut his women, his little side pieces short financially, and he really didn't want to do that. Okay? That's what you want to rush into? You want to rush into somebody who eventually they're verbally abusive. They might be physically abusive. Even if they're not, they're psychologically abusive. Many women are almost daily being unalived by their partners, their baby mamas, especially if she's pregnant, because he don't want that extra burden on his wallet. I'm just telling you how they think. Okay? So you're kind of acting like a police officer or a firefighter. You are running into danger, potential danger. Okay? They get paid to do that. You do not. All right? And they're not doing it for a relationship. They're doing it to save people from harm. You, on the other hand, if you're rushing to get married, you're rushing to have your life destroyed, because if you get with the wrong person, that is exactly what's going to happen to you. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how sweet he is. Women do the same thing. I'm emphasizing on men now, because women have that silly fantasy, girl fantasy in their head. Love is everything, and if I'm in love, my life is better, and it's grand, and it's beautiful, and the flowers are prettier, and they smell better when you're in love, and all this stupid shit. Men don't really do that. I don't think men do that, period, but that's a woman thing. A lot of that is a woman thing, and you don't want to run into danger. You don't want to speed into something. And somebody who's toxic can be as normal as they need to be in some cases until the I do's. And then they show all their hatred because this is who I really am. And now that you're locked in, surprise. Okay. I told you about Jules, who she's an online, she's a YouTuber. She mentioned somebody had told her, or somebody told her, I think, that a lady had just got married. They were in a hotel. They just got married that day. They were in a hotel that night, and they ordered room service. She ordered waffles instead of pancakes or something along those lines. And he took it upon himself to throw her across the room because she ordered the wrong thing. That's what you want to rush into? That's what you want to rush into. You better start listening. And I have to be a little harsh right now because y'all are stuck in this fantasy. You better start listening to women who have been through it. You better start listening to people who have had long-term so-called marriages to the wrong person. You better slow your roll, sit down, breathe, get you some popcorn and something to drink, and listen to women who have been through hell. Women who are still with this person because she can't afford to get a divorce and he damn sure ain't gonna pay for it. Okay? Listen to people who have been there. He could be your knight in shining armor until he decides, I'm taking the mask off. I don't care. You better start listening, and you better stop listening to the commercialization, the bullshit, the mind bend, your friends and family putting pressure on you. Y'all been dating for X amount of time, blah, blah, blah. If something doesn't feel right, don't you dare, don't you dare. I don't give a shit what your family says. They got a problem, they could talk to me. Direct them my way. Do not allow them to push you into marriage, push you into having kids, because they will push you headfirst into a fire. They don't know if that person's normal. You may not know that if this person's normal either, but you go by what you feel and you go by what you see. And you do not rush into a marriage. Well, we know when you know, you know. Why don't you want to marry me? We've been together for 2 months. If you know, you know. Are you having doubts? Were you pretending you love me? Try guilt you into marrying them. Now, when you know what narcissists do to break you down, make sure you don't do it so they can't break you down. Makes sense, right? So speeding is their drug of choice in some cases. It depends on the narcissist. Some narcissists don't want to marry. They just want to do the things that married people do without a commitment to you. Boyfriend, girlfriend is a commitment, but not really, because it's not a commitment as in we're engaged, planning a future. Okay. But one of their greatest things for those who are pushing for marriage is speed. Let's hurry up and get this done. When you know, you know. Life is short. We might as well go for it. Why are they speeding things up? That is the number one weapon that narcs use, is speed. Excuse me. Speed. Let's hurry this up. When you know that narcissists speed things up, make them slow down. Say, I want to take things slow because I really don't want to rush into anything. I want to be careful and I want us to proceed with caution. Time will tell if we're supposed to be together. Okay? Do not fall into commercialism. Do not fall into fantasy romance land. Do not fall into everybody's married. All my friends are married except me. They may not have married the right person either. Truth be told. You don't know what they go through behind closed doors, and truth be told, you may never know if they stay together. Some people stay together because we might as well stay together. We got kids. But they don't really respect each other, and they don't love each other. They're together because we've always been together. We might as well stay together, but they really don't like each other. That happens a lot too. Do not rush into a fire. You're not a fire person, a fireman, firewoman. You're not a fireman. So don't rush into a fire. You're not getting paid for that. Take your time. Eliminate the fantasy in your head. Because it's a nightmare disguised as a fantasy. It's a nightmare that's potential nightmare that's dressed as a fantasy with glitter and flowers and beauty and coordinating colors and all of this expansive, unlimited beauty. Don't fall for the goddamn fantasy, because I'm here to tell you When you are with the wrong person, you have just put yourself in prison. You've just been incarcerated. And you ain't getting out. You got life without parole. Unless you can afford to get a divorce. If you can afford to get a divorce, you'll be released from prison, hopefully, unless you make children with this person, which will lock you in deeper with them. So you need to slow down who you make children with. There's no need to rush that either. So mental illness. Lee Hammock he's an actor, and he coaches people. He's a narcissist, and he coaches people through through his disorder. He teaches people how to recover from it, how to heal, how to recognize the signs. But he was in a Fatal Attraction episode. And I saw it last night, and he is an actor, so obviously he didn't do this in real life, okay? He portrayed Chris Scarborough. First of all, she has had the young lady that I can't remember her name. The young lady that he got involved with, she has no clue what birth control is. Nobody taught her how to use birth control. Nobody told her these are the steps to get birth control. You call you find a doctor, you call them, you make an appointment, you get your ass in there, and you discuss birth control options with your gynecologist. Nobody taught her that. So I guess they didn't teach her. I don't know what the hell was wrong with her, but she had multiple children with multiple men. She ended up getting pregnant with Chris. Chris used to be an inmate. He was, locked up for, I don't know what he was locked up for, but she got involved with him. She already had 4 kids. 3 kids? 4 kids? No, she had 4 kids. And she ended up getting pregnant with Chris. And she terminated the pregnancy because he used to beat her up. Again, she don't know the first thing about birth control. If you're my sister or my friend, I'm going to take you by the hand and we going to the damn doctor. You call your doctor right now. Call your doctor right now. Make an appointment. I will set my schedule open. Have an opening in my schedule to make sure I go with you to make sure that your ass goes. I don't want you to be pregnant by every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's stupid and ridiculous and preventable. Anyway. So she terminated the pregnancy because she didn't want 5 kids. And he found out about it. She was living with her grandmother at the time. And her other kids, the older kids, heard everything happen. He found out, somebody told him about her terminating the pregnancy. Went to her grandma's house. They got into an argument. They got physical. He choked her and not only broke her neck, her older kids in the other bedroom heard her neck break. They heard the I kid you not. I kid you not. The older, I think the oldest kid told the forensic psychologist, I think is what she's called. She interviewed the kids to find out who did this. He heard his mom's neck break. That is a sound he will never forget for the rest of his life. Now, they weren't married, but you don't have to be married to be in a situation where your life is in danger. He also used to beat up her kids. Beat up her kids. Why not? Everybody's going to learn to obey me. So you don't have to be married to be in danger. You just chasing that fantasy. And that could make you dance with the devil. Slow your roll, because I'm trying to explain something to you. Life is not the big fantasy that you think it is when it comes to so-called love. A lot of men are not capable of love. They're capable of pulling their pants down, but they're not capable of pulling their heart out. Why? Again, a lot of them are narcissists. Narcissists are incapable of loving anyone but themselves. Now, Lee Hammock is probably the exception to the rule just because he's been in psychotherapy for 6 years. So he's had to work on himself for 6 whole years. In addition to, prior to psychotherapy, he was always into self-improvement. So he is the unicorn, okay? He's the multicolored unicorn in the narcissist world, because that's not what they do generally. They don't care about self-improvement. They don't care. All they care about is getting their way. They don't care about, I gotta address my demons so I don't hurt somebody if I fall in love one day. They're not into that. They're into self-serving. Okay? He took her life in her grandma's house with her kids there. He didn't care. You terminated my child, so I'm going to terminate you. He's huge. His name is Chris Scarborough. I'm sure it's Scarborough, I think is the spelling of his last name. He's like 6'3", 6'4". I don't know. He's a tall guy. If somebody can break your neck with such force that someone in another room can hear it, he's a big dude. He's pretty powerful. That's another reason why you have to slow your roll. Because if your partner decides one day the fantasy is over and I go crazy, chances are you're not as strong as he is. Now, that doesn't matter, because there's things that you could do to drop him to his knees, and you don't have to be, it's not contingent on strength. It's contingent on hitting the right part of the body, and preferably without warning. You don't want to run into a nightmare. And remember that song? I don't know. My voice ain't going to let me sing today, because you can't hurry love. No, you just have to wait. She said, love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. Yes. Yes. You can't hurry love. You can't speed it up. It doesn't matter about your biological clock. It makes no difference. You're going to end up with kids from the wrong person, and you're going to end up a single mother. And let me tell you something else. And if you don't believe me, you better start paying attention to YouTube, and you better start paying attention to women who are exhausted because they're married, but they're single mothers. What? They're married. That fantasy that you want to fulfill so bad. They're married, but they're single mothers because they have to do everything on their own. He sits on his ass and he's not involved at all. He made the kids. Now that part he can do. Jumping up and down on you, that I can do. Changing diapers, consoling the kid because he's got colic, feeding them. Yeah, I ain't down for all that. So they're married, but they're single mothers. Do you want to sign up for that? Take your time. These women are exhausted. They are online crying. They are like, I'm married, but I'm exhausted. I cannot think straight because I have to do everything on my own. He is not involved in any way, shape, or form. That's a common thing too. There was a lady who was terminally ill, and she needed a ride to the hospital for obvious reasons. Her husband didn't bring her because he doesn't do hospitals. Okay. Another narcissist, potentially sociopath, enjoying someone's agony. But narcissists enjoy agony, giving agony too. There's another lady who was in labor. She needed a ride to the hospital for obvious reasons. He said, let me go grab a coffee from across the street. Took him, 20 to 45 minutes? I don't know. It took a really, 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 really long time to get back to his wife. Now, was that necessary? No. There's coffee at the hospital. Your wife is in labor. What part of that is confusing to you? He ain't worried about that because he's not the one in labor. So whatever, let me get my coffee. I get to you when I get to you. That's what you want to sign up for? That's the shit you want to sign up for? Because you can't wait to get married? You can't wait to have you look. I don't need you writing me, telling me, girl, you were right. You were absolutely right. Now I'm trying to scrape up money to file for a divorce. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. And then if you do get a divorce or you separate, the toxic partner, your so-called husband, could easily poison the children against you, and the kids will end up hating you. Your mother's the one that wanted to get a divorce. Your mother is destroying the family because she doesn't care about you. She acts like she cares about you. She says she loves you, but she doesn't love you. She wanted the family to break up. Toxic person, there's no limit to what they will do. There is absolutely no limit to what they will do to destroy you and your children. You want to rush into that? Good luck. Let me know how that works for you. Start paying close attention to women who have been through hell so that you can remind yourself, you can snap yourself out of the fantasy and realize that that's not what I want to sign up for. I don't want to do that. No, absolutely no. I ain't, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take my time. And I want to make sure this is really love. You need to see this person in all situations. You need to see them on their good days, their bad days, their mediocre days. You need to see how they talk to the waitress in the restaurant. You need to see how what is their relationship with their parents. Some women have this ideology that if he has a tight relationship with his mom, he's going to respect you. Let me correct you on that right here and right now. No, that is not always true. Some are enmeshed with their mother and you could never compete. Some are addicted / enmeshed with their mother and you could never compete. Not only can you never compete, but her needs will always come first. So don't assume that because he's tight with his mother that, that he's going to be tight with you, because that's not necessarily true. So pay closer attention to women who have been in horrible relationships, long marriages. She's a single mother, even though she's married, or she's single she doesn't have any kids, but she's still a single mother. Single woman who's married. I was in that boat. I know. I'm not just making this up. Seeing other women's story will wake you up and shake your tree and get you out of the fantasy. Okay? Because what they're going through, that could easily be you. Pay attention to what other women are going through so that you don't sign up for the same thing. Take your time. Life is not to be rushed. You cannot speed the day along. You cannot speed the night along. You cannot speed your personal life along. And if you do, you're going to probably more than likely regret it. Not only that, but narcissists can smell your desperation. Did I go there? Yes, I did. Narcissists can smell your desperation and they will hone in on you. And their mentality is, oh, this is going to be good. I'm going to scramble her brains. Oh, I'm going to scramble her brains and make them look like scrambled eggs because she's so desperate for love. So let me fall in love with her. Let me put on my love hat before he destroys the hell out of you. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. You understand that? Take your time. Those of us who are older and wiser, honey, we've been there, got the t-shirt and everything else, keychain. So pay attention. This goes for men too, but again, I haven't dated women. So women can be the same, toxic. getting pregnant on purpose because she knows that if she gets married, you're the type to marry her. So then you marry her and your life is ruined also. I know of men, I have coached one man in particular who got married too fast. Um, he only knew her for a few months and she was the light of his life. Of course, anybody could do that for a few months. He married her and she don't want to be bothered with him now. He says she won't even let me touch her. So their sex life is done. He's like, come on, I want to make love to you. She's like, handle it yourself. She turned over and went to sleep. Men don't rush. None of y'all rush. Don't. I'm warning you. If you don't take the, you don't heed the warning, there's nothing I could do. But I'm trying to warn you ahead of time. And you damn sure don't get married after a few months. Don't do that dumb shit. I'm telling you. Don't do that. He's regretting it. I don't know if he's going to get a divorce or not. But I know I was horrified when he said he got married after a few months. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that married after my one of my best friends. She got married and she got married too. But prior to her being born, her parents got married after knowing each other for 2 weeks. They stayed together until death do you part. Although there was a point in time where he was trying to be single while he was married and hanging the bars all the time, and she had to correct him. They eventually, she had Olivia, and she had to come to Jesus meeting with him. I'll be single. I'll raise this baby by myself. So if you want to keep hopping in and out of bars, you go right ahead. And he was like, oh, I don't want that. So he flew straight, and they worked it out, and they stayed together till death do you part. But that is not the norm. So don't be rushing after, Tranquility said you could meet your love after 2 weeks. I didn't say you could meet your love after 2 weeks. I said my best friend's parents happened to, get married after 2 weeks. They were lucky that they made it, because you'd never want to speed up the time frame because you could be destroying your life. He could have been a monster of epic proportions. She didn't freaking know. She could have been a monster of epic proportions. He didn't know. So they took a chance. You're jumping off the diving board hoping there's water in the pool. I'm never doing that. And I don't suggest you do it either. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. That does not mean that that's your life. That worked for them. That may not work for you. And that's not the gamble you want to take. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right? Take your damn time. Take your time. And I told you one of the biggest signs that someone is toxic, those goddamn mood swings all over the map. EKG machine, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Getting mad for no goddamn reason, being petty, being argumentative, accusing you of being argumentative, getting pissy about everything. The way you walk is bothering me. I don't like the way you walk. I don't like the way you talk. I don't like the way you cook. You don't know what you're doing in the kitchen, which isn't true. In the beginning, your food was delicious, and now all of a sudden it's horrible. This is toxicity. This is them wearing a banner across their chest. I am toxic as hell. Look at my nasty ass mood swings. I'm toxic as hell. I'm wearing the banner. How come you can't see it? A healthy person is even keeled all the time. Not for months until they take the mask off. They're even keeled. They don't have bitchy complaints like a fucking lunatic. They don't do that because they don't want to lose you. They're capable of love. They have strong feelings for you, or they love you, and they don't want to turn you off by saying, oh, let me give you a list of things that are wrong with you. Healthy people don't do that. Healthy people are not mood swings everywhere. They don't freaking do that. Okay? That's a red flag of epic proportions. Pay attention, y'all. Much love. Y'all take care.